Alright guys, so today we're going to look at JJK 237 and I'm going to try and do a weekly review at minimum because these come out pretty quickly and give us a lot of insight on the current status of the story. So as you guys know, Gojo just died and Kashimo rushes onto the battlefield to take his place. So they go into detail about how he's jumping to, start the fight. And this giant ice block from none other than Urame is also falling onto the battlefield, with Hikari also following right behind her. So they obviously, exchange a few words, and he opens his domain. So he traps Urame up in there, and yeah, but the ice block is still following, of course. So it's gonna crash to the ground right after this. So after this, we see what happens and what is actually being delivered through the ice, the most important thing, when it shatters. So what we actually see is he had a binding vow with Yorozu, and the item that comes out of it is this cursed tool, Supreme Martial Solution. And the effect was, as you can see, a lightning blast. So he actually has another lightning weapon he can unleash. Sukuna has a lot of outside weaponry and help that seems to be coming inside the middle of this battle. So we can keep looking, and there goes Kashimo. And as we know, he has a lightning element to his cursed energy, so that doesn't really seem to do much, of course, because that is his nature, right? And now we go into the dialogue between Sukuna being the strongest or becoming the strongest, naturally or through some progression. And so they both actually have issues about what it means to be strong and if they'll always be lonely, something like Gojo, right? So Gojo, of course, is considered the same, and yeah, it's pretty much what it is. They're all in the top tier of strength. We can keep looking, and we see that they obviously start the fight. Mythical Beast Amber, which is his curse technique, the one that's been touted for so long and is finally being released, gives him an amp, and he starts punching Sukuna pretty bad, starts blasting him, causing some damage. And they go into the explanation of it. It manifests different phenomena that Kashimo can convert from his curse energy. So like he has natural electric properties to his curse energy, he now starts to actually gain different types of phenomena that are attached to his cursed energy. And they go into it more, but more importantly, he continues to fight, and he's actually winning. As you can see, he's kind of beating up Sukuna. Now, they explicitly go into the properties here. Improved agility due to his increased activity and the electricity. Sound waves that optimize and attune the natural frequencies of substances surrounding him. The EM waves that, he's blasting out. He's looking at these natural phenomena and starting to use them in combination in a way that kind of makes him superhuman, right? And they explicitly say he's gone past beyond the human realm. But after he finishes the technique, his flesh collapses, whatever that means. And so this is why it's a one-off technique, right? It looks like it'll maybe even kill him after he's done. And so he literally could only use it once, right? He wasn't being hyperbolic at all. So Sukuna can repair himself from the fight, right? That isn't cursed or reverse curse technique. And that's when he transforms back into his old state. So what we can see here is Sukuna felt the need before he kept fighting to go into his OG state. And that's pretty much it, man. That's the chapter. But are you guys excited for Sukuna's transformation and to see what happens now that he has his old body or his old form back at minimum inside Megumi's body? And I myself I'm just waiting to see what happens and what comes with this, because he's obviously going to release his curse technique at some point. But that's something we're going to have to wait and see. So I'm just as excited as you guys.